for Quaint and Curious Volumes. My name is James. Today, I'm going to be doing the Memento Mori tag. I've been tagged by Book Chat with Pat, a great new channel. This tag was created by Polyglot Reading, also a great new channel, which I don't know how new he is. I think he's pretty new. He reads in a number of languages, and his videos are in a number of languages, including Yiddish, which is quite unusual. But he's a German, and he does read in German, and English, and I think French, and Italian. And I watched his video of this tag. He's wearing a hooded sweatshirt that kind of makes him look a bit like a monk, because it sort of looks like a monk's cowl. Kind of cool. Anyway, I know that's beside the point. But this is the Memento Mori tag. That is Latin for remember that you will die. And so there are a number of tags pertaining to mortality. So the first tag, how many books will you be able to read before you die, considering your age and statistical life expectancy? Most people have danced around this a bit. I just did the math of the average number of books I've read over the past 5 years and my life expectancy. And I didn't take into account BMI and marital status and things like that. I just put into a Google search my age and gender. So this is the answer, 2,322.15. So I'm not going to finish that last one. Of course, I could retire and have more time for reading and thus read more. I could get into, I could obviously get involved in, I could take up golf and then I wouldn't have any time for reading at all. Probably won't happen. I could get ill and that could impact my ability to read, as sometimes happens. So, don't know. And of course, as a wise auto mechanic once said to me, I'll tell you this story in brief. In 2009, I had a job interview in the town of Sparta, North Carolina, which is, as they say in northeastern North Carolina, up the mountain, that is, up in the Blue Ridge. I finished the interview and I was driving back to my home down the mountain in Surrey County. It's still very hilly, but you're definitely east of the escarpment of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Of course, to get there, I had to drive down the mountain in my car. And at the top, I'm starting to go down this very twisty mountain road, and my brakes went out. And I remember distinctly saying to myself, James, you need to take this seriously. I was able to, by applying maximum pressure to the brake, I was able to slow down enough that I could keep the car under control until I came to a little turnout when I put on the emergency brake, pulled over to the side. Eventually, I got towed into a mechanic in Mount Airy, North Carolina. And the mechanic came out after examining my car, holding a little piece of my brake line that had corroded, and he showed it to me and he said, "For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away." So anyway, we don't really know how much time we have left, none of us. How does this number, we're back to the number, yes, 2,322.15. How does this number affect my choice of books? Well, I don't really think about it probably much. We're all living in denial of these things to a certain extent. I think that it does make you realize that you don't have infinite time left. So if I want to read as much as I can, is it worthwhile to try and learn to read Japanese so I can very badly read, very basic Japanese books Or should I concentrate on reading more good things in good translations? It makes me think of that sometimes. I started studying Latin a little bit on Duolingo, and I mean, there's plenty of stuff to read in Latin if you can read Latin, but no one to talk to about it. Of course, that might be the most useful language in the afterlife. Who knows? I mean, there's probably plenty. Well, anyway. I was going to say, you probably meet plenty of Catholic priests in hell that you could talk to. What will happen to your book collection once you have passed away? Hopefully, they'll know enough to just call Ed McKay's to send a van. Maybe they'll write you a check for what's left. That's good enough. Some people are into Swedish death cleaning, including my wife. If she prevails on me, maybe I'll have gotten rid of them all by then, and I'll just be reading a Kindle at the end. That wouldn't be my choice now, but who knows? Maybe she'll convince me. Next question. Is there a book that helps you to cope with the disturbing fact of a limited lifespan? All books help me cope with the fact of a limited lifespan because they enable me to live other people's lives. I think I said in one of my first videos, well, I referenced the cliche quote that one life is not enough, and that's why we have to read to have other people's lives be part of our lives, contained within it. Most of the time, it is not disturbing to me, the fact that we have a limited lifespan. It's supposed to be that way. Any one of us is not special or different. It's our lot to die. That's what we're here for. Eventually, we go. And sometimes I like to think of the end of Song of Myself by Walt Whitman, and I'll read a little bit of that. The spotted hawk swoops by and accuses me. He complains of my gab and my loitering. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. I sound my barbaric yawp over the roofs of the world. The last scud of day holds back for me. It flings my likeness after the rest and true as any on the shadowed wilds. It coaxes me to the vapor and the dusk. I depart as air, I shake my white locks at the runaway sun. I fuse my flesh in eddies and drift in icy jags. I bequeath myself to the dirt to grow from the grass I love. If you want me again, look for me under your boot soles. You will hardly know who I am or what I mean, but I shall be good health to you nonetheless, and filter and fiber your blood. Failing to fetch me at first, keep encouraged. Missing me one place, search another. I stop somewhere, waiting for you. So that's Walt Whitman, Song of Myself, 52. Which book on this topic do you consider the most witty or entertaining one? You know, I've had a couple of people in my comments recently noticing a particular book on my shelves. And, you know, it's designed, I think, intentionally so that it will be able to read the title and it will stand out quite clearly from across the room. I think that Infinite Jest is a very witty and entertaining book about death. It's not for everyone. Is it a dude bro book, as some say? I say no. But it is a very entertaining book about death. A book also about entertainment that can kill you. Do you have a specific nonfiction book on the topic of death that you'd like to recommend? I would like to recommend a book called Celebrations of Death. I don't know if it's still popular, but when I was an undergraduate in college, in addition to reading Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman, I had 2 separate classes in which I was assigned to read Celebrations of Death by Peter Metcalf and Richard Huntington. This is an anthropology of religion book that examines in cross-cultural and through various periods of time different approaches to funerary rites. And I found it fascinating. Next prompt. Humor can be helpful to confront death. Do you have a favorite witty quote on the topic? I think one of the funniest books, this is going to be, really, one of the funniest books that there is Hamlet. And there is a scene, Act 4, Scene 3, after Hamlet has intentionally, accidentally murdered Polonius, who is a courtier. The king, who is Hamlet's uncle, if you don't know, the king comes in with Hamlet and says, "Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?" Hamlet, "At supper." The king, "At supper where?" Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are e'en at last him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but to 1 table. That's the end. The king says, "Ah, alas." Hamlet says, "A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that have fed of that worm." King, "What dost thou mean by this?" Hamlet, "Nothing but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar." King, "Where is Polonius?" Hamlet, "In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him up as you go up the stairs into the lobby." So Hamlet's pretty funny. Does this tag make you feel uneasy, or are you quite relaxed about this topic? I'm not relaxed about anything, but this tag doesn't make me especially uneasy. Tag others. I am going to tag. I've tagged him a couple of times, and I don't think he does tags. But I still want to tag a Libro parody, so one time I asked him if he would do a tag, and he pulled out a quarter, and he flipped it, and he told me I had to call it. He wouldn't tell me what it was about, what I would get. If it was very, very unsettling. But I think he would do a good job on this tag. Everyone else has done it, so he's probably not going to do it. But I will also tag Reading Ideas, who has a pretty cool channel. I will also tag a channel that is new to me, which is the Grape Jelly Library. I don't really know if she does tags, but if she does, hey, do this tag. It's fun. And I will tag Troy Tradup, who has a great channel. I think just about everyone else on BookTube that I watch anyway has done this tag by now. So anyway, that's what I have to say today. Thanks for watching.